So there are people who like all kinds of things. There are people who like rustic looks. There are people who like things like Marvel and DC. And a lot of these things are meant to decorate a room. For example, my brother has a theater room, and he has surrounded his room with a lot of memorabilia and posters and things from Star Wars, from Marvel, DC. And it's one of those things that's very popular right now. So I thought, what if I take some pallet wood, clean it up, and decide to make some sort of logo to hang on a wall? So stick around. We're going to make some rough cuts. We're going to make a lot of sawdust, and we're going to build ourselves a Batman logo out of pallet wood. Okay, my plan is to cut out a Batman logo out of pallet wood and then run some LED lights behind it and hang it on the wall. What do you think? Not too bad, huh? All right, I have this oval that I made some time back. I'm gonna line this up in this glue up I made, and I already sent it through the surface planer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out as close as I can to the circle. There you go. Not too bad. Just smooth it out a little bit on the belt sander. All right, let's give these pieces a sanding. Start with this one here. I'm gonna paint it black with black paint. I'm gonna paint it with black paint, so I'm not worried too much about how smooth the wood will look. There you go. All right, on to the next step. All right, so made the template for the bat symbol, the bat logo, and I've cut one out of a piece of pallet wood that I smoothed out. I'm gonna experiment with something. What I want to do is I found another piece of pallet wood, and it's a little thinner than this one. What I want to do is I'm going to trim I already sketched it out there, traced it on there. I'm going to trim the excess off, and then I'm going to try and attach the two together, and then I'm going to run my trim router around it, see if I can make a separate one based on this template. So I'm going to try and find some double-sided tape that I have lying around to see if I can make a carbon copy off of this one. If that's the case, then I might be able to make a bunch of these and sell them in my local market or something, or use them as gifts. So stay tuned. Here we go. Okay, so I took off a lot of the excess, left the line, you can see it, left the line. I'm going to put down the template, I'm going to line it up with the line, and then I'm going to run my trim router around it and see if it works. Okay, so let's experiment and see if this works. That's the beauty of pallet wood, is that I can make mistakes. I can mess up the wood. That's all right. It's free. I'll get some more. All right, so I attached the two pieces with some double-sided tape. Doesn't seem to be holding on that strong, but if I run it through my router jig, I can kind of hold it in place. So let's see how this thing works. Let's try it out. It's doing a pretty good job. It just blew out the tip. That's the only thing I didn't like. I think what I would do next time is I would leave the tip and cut it with my either my scroll saw or my bandsaw. Cut it separately, but it's the round areas that are doing a fairly good job. I already did this end over here. Now let's go around this way. Ah, broke off. Well, what I've learned is that it's possible, but it has to be probably trimmed really close to the template so it'll work. I was kind of hoping to make a copy of it so I could use it as a template, but it already broke here. I haven't even gotten to the top part here. I struggled with this inner part here. I mean, I still have this template, but I was kind of hoping to make myself a template. I can find a way to make copies of these pretty quick. But hey, live and learn. That's how it works. All right, let's remove the double-sided tape. It really didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but that's the way things go sometimes. I've never used double-sided tape, so this is the first time for me. This is my original, the one I'm going to use. So my original stayed intact, and the one I wanted to make out of a template broke off here on the top, broke off the tip right here. The rest of it kind of worked out. Well, the trick is I want to see if I can, I guess the best way to put it is mass produce these. But I'm wondering if, because of the grain of this pallet wood, if plywood would be better with this. I mean, for the most part, it worked out. It just got the broken tip on here and the broken tip over here, tip on the end over here. But I'm wondering if something like this, would I be better off transferring this onto a board and then cutting all the tips with my either bandsaw or my scroll saw, and then trimming the rest off with the router. But again, trial and error. That's what I'm going to work on. Didn't get a chance to start the camera because the battery had died, but I just painted the Batman logo with some acrylic paint. And it looks like one good coat was enough, but I kind of want to get rid of some of the lines. Next thing I want to do is paint the back yellow. I think it looks pretty good. Sure, all the brush strokes go in the same direction. There you go. So I'm working on running these LED lights along the back side of the Batman logo. I'm going to try and run these all the way through, and then I'm going to send it through the background. I'm going to put some spacers on the background so that the Batman logo is lifted off of the background. And then I'm going to figure out drill a hole in here, run the rest of the LED lights through the back, and then I'm going to run it around the back. So it'll be lit out through the back, and it'll be lit out in between this. So still working on this one, trying to get this thing done. So now, just to give you a little sneak peek on what this looks like, let's turn this light off. It'll light up behind it like that. Not too bad, huh? There we go. Okay, so I've glued or taped down or stuck down the LED lights in the pattern I want. Now I've cut two pieces, actually cut three, but I realized I couldn't use one in the middle. So I cut two pieces from the same stock, so they're exactly the same thickness. And I'm going to super glue them here and here. So I cut them in the shape of the pattern of the LED lights so that they won't get in the way, they won't interfere. So I'm going to glue these down, and then this will be ready to attach to the backing. Okay, so let's take care of that real quick. Okay, so after painting the background, I figured out the center of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some spacers to elevate the bat symbol off of this piece here, so the lights can glow in the background. But I also want the lights to come out the back too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a hole right in the middle here. I'm going to go and I'm going to put a 3/8 bit Forstner bit on my drill press. I'm going to drill a 3/8 hole through this. So now I'm going to run the lights through this hole so I can put the lights around the back too. On the back, what I want to do is I want to find some spacers to put at the top and the bottom. I want to put a keyhole slot in it so I can hang this on the wall and the back will light up against the wall. So that's the plan. Here's my keyhole slot. Now, when you put a screw or nail in the wall, put a screw in the wall, hang it up. Now I'm going to cut this here and here and then attach it to the back. I'm going to hang it on the wall. I want to make sure that this inside lined up to this line I drew. Plus I want space around the top, so when I run the lights through here, I can run them around the top of this, around the sides. So that one's going to go there. This bottom spacer is going to go here, so it'll be an even space off the wall. Like that. So let's go ahead and super glue these down. We'll put a weight on this and let it dry. Okay, so I attached the backs. This way it can hang on the wall, and there'll be the bottom one will kind of keep the space even. Okay. Problem is when I tried to put the lights through this hole to the back side, the hole wasn't big enough because the outlet to the LED lights is not a circle, it's more of a rectangle. So what I did is I marked out where I need to cut. So I'm going to bring it to my scroll saw, and I'm going to cut out two little rectangles so that the outlet to the LED lights can slide through. So let's go back inside, let's all glue it together, let's try and finish this project. Okay, so cut that slot through. This is the outlet I was talking about. This is what goes connected to the power source. So I have to run this through this hole here, now that I made it a little bit wider, and send it through the back. Like that. So let's go ahead and glue this down. That's pretty quick. Stuck to it pretty darn quick. Didn't get it exactly centered where I wanted it. How does that look to you? So I'm going to flip it over, hold it down. Then I'm going to run these lights around the back so that the back will light up. Then this will come out the bottom and connect to the wall. All right, stay tuned. Well, there you have it. Some old pallet wood, wasn't anything special to look at, cleaned up, glued some pieces together, painted it, made ourselves a nice little Batman logo with the space in between where I ran some lighting, and I actually cut a keyhole slot in the back so I can hang it up on something. So I've got this piece here with a screw in it, the French cleat. So I'm gonna put this on here. Let's hang this up on the wall where you can see it, right there. And let's test it out. And there you go, a light up Batman logo out of pallet wood. I hope you really like this video. I hope it inspires you to go and do some stuff on your own. Never look at a pile of scrap wood and think that it can't be anything. Go into your own shops, take out your tools, make some rough cuts, make some sawdust, and build something. Thanks for joining us. Please hit the like and subscribe if you like this. And as always, God bless.